we have any bars sitting around? What? Wait, say that again? What's up guys, Alex back here at House of Harley. We're back in the shop. We're gonna talk to you today about handlebars. You asked for it, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna get right into it and basically cover a couple of different reasons and the seemingly two most popular versions of bars right now. Mainly the two that we see a lot of requests for, a lot of popularity on. If we're seeing bikes on social media that are posted, they're either running ape hangers or they're running T-bars. And this can run from any make and model of bike, from a touring model to a Sportster. Seems like you're either one or the other. You like ape hangers and you hate T-bars, or you hate T-bars and you love ape hangers. But we want to kind of give you the reason why you'd go one way or the other. And we'll get right to it. Most people, if they're looking for an aggressive handlebar setup, I think a lot of it is motocross and moto inspired, are looking for a T-bar setup. And mainly what defines a T-bar setup or a moto bar setup is either a one-piece riser and handlebar, or a two-piece riser, clamp, and then a smaller low-bend handlebar setup. It's more so for a performance feeling. When out riding, you can definitely feel a bit quicker handling and a quicker response in your actions and how it reflects back into the handling of the bike. The thing I notice most is the more narrow shoulder and hand width. Most moto bars are going to be about 32-inch width, whereas ape hangers are about 34, 36. The style, the profile, and again, the quickness to response of handling is definitely one of the reasons why most people are looking to do that moto setup. And then again, if you're a guy that used to race motocross and you're looking still to have that kind of performance in the way you ride, that's the reason you're going that way. Not necessarily without giving up some creature comforts. Like myself, put that setup on my bike. It does require some modifications that the average person maybe isn't comfortable with. And then also you're looking at additional parts in gauge relocations, different mounts, and like I said, modifying the bike that most people wouldn't normally do. And it's not something that you're necessarily going to buy right out of a catalog. It's going to be something that's going to be a few-day project if it's something you've never done before. So we talk about T-bars and moto bar setups. Now let's go the other way and talk about ape hangers. And when I think of ape hangers, I think of somebody cruising down the freeway at 70, 80 miles an hour, relaxing, cruising, enjoying the ride. Lean back, just hanging out and enjoying every minute of it. And again, I think that's most goal. If you're looking to put a set of bars on a bike and be comfortable, everybody's going up a few inches wider, just to be in that relaxed position about shoulder length or maybe a little bit higher. There's so many different options, which is probably the biggest attraction to it. I mean, you can do chrome, you can do black, you can do color matched if you so choose. And there's any height from 10 all the way to 16 or 18 if you're that tall or need bars that big. But it really is for somebody that's looking to get on a bike, be comfortable, and just cruise down the road without maybe looking to hot rod around or just be into the performance side of it. So just another few reasons why somebody would be looking to go towards an ape hanger setup versus maybe a T-bar. So maybe a couple reasons why you wouldn't go one way or the other. If I'm a person who is looking for comfort, obviously we know we're going to go with a handlebar that's maybe a little bit taller, a little bit wider. What you're going to give up with going with a T-bar is the bike maybe won't feel as responsive. It'll feel a little bit more difficult to handle when you're at a slower speed. And it might feel like you're having to work a little bit harder in higher speed situations just because you don't have the leverage and your hands are up here versus down low. Now if you flip that and go with the T-bar, where it feels great at higher speeds and you've got the leverage, In lower speeds, it feels like you're having to work a little bit harder because the bars are a little bit more narrow and you just don't have the leverage that you would when your hands are out wider. So again, positives and negatives, pros and cons to each. Just want to give you guys all the education and information that we can so you can make the right decisions. So you decided which bar you want to go with. What's next? Well, think about it. You've got grips, controls, all sorts of different items that are going to either come off the bike, change while you're doing the bars. Some of the stuff that we always consider when doing a handlebar change, we're putting different grips on, most likely. Are we putting heated grips on so that we're putting not just a new set of grips on, but something that's actually going to improve the rideability of the bike. So we're adding comfort while we're adding comfortable bars. We always take a look at doing grips, mirrors, controls. There's all these things that while we're replacing the bars, it's great to consider upgrading these other parts while we're doing it. Then you think of while we're doing the handlebars, we're probably pulling either the fairing off or modifying and changing some of the stuff around that part of the bike. So if we're pulling the fairing off, should we upgrade speakers with an amp while we're doing that? Is there a new windshield that we can put on while we're reinstalling everything? What kind of things are going to add to the bars while we're doing it? Saves us some time, save yourself some money, and then just the convenience of not having to pull the bike back in the garage or bring it back to us. So last but not least, I'll cover the age-old question: how high can I go without having to buy cables and lines? Obviously, it depends on the bars, what manufacturer and what kind of bars we're installing. We always recommend replacing cables anything higher than 13s, regardless of what the internet says and what the guy on the YouTube channel says, not me, somebody else. But there's so many people, there's so many opinions, but you don't want to be riding around on a bike with a clutch line or a brake line that literally is life or death, but it's tighter than a banjo string and you can hear it creaking while the bike is turning left or right. There's just smarter decisions out there to make in these types of situations where you don't want to risk $150 to replace a brake line or a clutch line because it means that much. I mean, there's strict regulations on how these parts are made and their purpose. Why risk that with your life? So you'll come in and maybe you won't get the answer that you're looking for from us, but remember that it's always livelihood and best case scenario that we put in place when we quote somebody on doing a set of handlebars, because we know what's right and maybe that there's more importance to doing it right than saving some money. That wraps up the handlebar episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys maybe have some new questions that we can answer for you. And maybe we helped you decide what type of handlebar is going to be perfect for you. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up. Always subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video as always, and comment below what you liked, maybe what questions you have, or again, what you want to see in future episodes. We're going to keep rolling these things until you guys run out of ideas or we run out of ideas. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but you never know. So keep letting us know what you guys want to see. We'll see you guys next episode. This is Alex inside the house.